Mate, they got laser tag over there. How cool is that?
Yeah. So I expect everyone will be trying to do that at 9 o'clock tonight with little success.
Hey folks, Ben from Smoking Hot Confessions here. We're just wrapping up day one at the incredible Kangaroo Valley Craft Beer and Barbecue Festival. You will have to excuse Big Willy here, not drinking a craft beer. Mate, what's up with that?
I'm drinking the local brew, Chew is New. The reason I'm doing that is I'm drinking out of Doug Thomas's esky, and his flavour is Chew is New. I've tried a lot of the great breweries out here today. A lot of the inner Western Sydney breweries have come down to Kangaroo Valley. Tell you what, anyone who lives in Sydney should come down and check out what they're doing down here, because this is the third year, I think. You've been here for a couple of years.
This is my second year,
yeah. So it's the third year that the event has run, and it's really good. So there's over there we've got sort of lawnmower racing.
Isn't that wild?
I know. Over there we've got pig racing. There's helicopter rides for the kids and stuff like that. It's a really good event. A lot of events try and be everything to everyone, but these guys, they look after the teams, they look after the locals, and they look after sort of the families. So no, it's really good. I'm really enjoying it, as are you, I'm sure.
Mate, they got laser tag over there. How cool is that?
Yeah. So I expect everyone will be trying to do that at 9 o'clock tonight with little success.
I'm hoping that they wrap that up and put that away, because I can't imagine those guns are going to last real long with us at a couple of beers under our belts and 9 o'clock at night. So tell us a bit about what you're doing here at the festival this weekend.
So I've been doing demos. So I did 4 demos today on stage. I did some salmon, I did some steak, some chicken, and obviously I did a steak demo, reverse seared steak demo. Still the crowd pleaser, still the favourite every time. I just like coming down here. It's 2 hours from home. We zipped down this morning, and we're just sort of doing some demonstrations. Obviously not competing, but us sort of in a hiatus. We haven't said no, we're not doing it ever again. We're just sort of chilling out just at the moment. We're all very busy, but what we've been doing a lot of is the classes.
I was going to ask about the Masterclasses. Yeah.
So we're lucky enough to be sort of, I guess, endorsed by Barbecues Galore, in the sense that they allow us to do classes at their stores to help educate the everyday punter on what is low and slow barbecue, what's this whole thing all about, explain to me how to light a fire, all those little simple things that you watch YouTube enough, you'll get it, but you know, it's much easier to see someone do it in person. You can ask questions and see about it. So, and one of the things I was talking to someone about today, and you earlier, I'm going to be an advocate next year for every team in Australia to try and do a class. So we can only spread the word so much, and we're lucky to have a big voice being Barbecues Galore, but I'd encourage any team, anyone who's watching, and you know, whether you're a team of 3 or you know, a couple, go and try and do a masterclass. Speak to your local pub, speak to your local barbecue shop, you know, your butcher, whoever it might be, and see if you can do a masterclass, because there's a lot of upside. Not a lot of money, but you know, the thing about it is, I know why school teachers are school teachers. Showing someone a new skill, teaching them something that they want to learn, or they've tried and they've failed. It's so much satisfaction, and I want everyone else to share in that satisfaction that I get out of doing classes. And I must admit, I take time off work. I sacrifice my Saturdays so that I can show people, you know, the art of low and slow barbecue, which I've been lucky enough to learn through my grandfather, who had one of the first barbecue shops in Australia. So I was sort of lucky to sort of get involved in that really early on. And yeah, so I think if more people are doing classes, the better. All ships rise with the tide. And I'm thinking the biggest thing that I want to sort of preach next year, we will be doing more classes with Barbecues Galore, hopefully, but I'm hoping that more people are doing classes and showing, because I've got my method, and you know, it's tried and tested, and it obviously works. People get, you know, good results after coming to our class, but a lot of people do a lot of different things to me, and that's the beauty of barbecue. It's how you cook it. You do it differently to me. You know, some people, you know, shock horror at how I cook a steak. It's like, well, that's the way I've learned, but you might have a better way. So the more people doing classes, the better. I think that's my sort of, you know, that's my go forward for 2020.
Absolutely. Now, it can be a bit intimidating when you are approaching that butcher, approaching that pub for the first time to try and present yourself as the teacher of the barbecue course. So what advice do you have for teams that are maybe a little bit shy, not real sure about how to make that initial approach?
If you're going to approach, let's say, a butcher, for example, his job is to sell meat. So if you get more people cooking brisket, he's going to sell more brisket. So if you get more people sort of, you know, wanting the better cuts of steak, he's going to sell more steak. And particularly if you do it, I've done a couple of classes with butchers over the years. for example, in Townsville with the guys at Riverway Meats, and he's got such a loyal sort of community of people who love barbecue. The classes I've done up there, you know, they've really enjoyed it, and you know, he gets a lot of benefit out of it. Once again, not a lot of money in it for him in the short term, and you know, it costs a lot of money to fly up to Townsville to do the class, and you know, but you know, there's a mathematical equation for everyone.
Yep.
That, you know, I get paid for my time, and he gets the sort of, you know, he can sell more meat, you know, at the back end. And the education process, it's good fun. Everyone, you know, has a beer, and we sort of all get along. So I think approach them, and there's upside for everyone. But I think if you're not confident, and you know, oh, I'm not a good public speaker, get a few people together to run the class. I think the first time I saw that was the Shank brothers out of Queensland. Mikey and Ralphie, they bounce off each other. You know, one might get a little bit worn out of talking. Actually, no, it's not the Shank brothers. But, you sort of you bounce off each other. You talk, and then you know you come up with a good product. So I'm not a hugely confident person, as much as you know everyone will go, oh no, that's bullshit. Yeah, I get nervous when I'm in front of 35 people on my own. You know, and some people have probably seen that. But if I've got Mitch next to me or Rosie next to me, you know, we can bounce off each other, and then it becomes a, you know, and a much more dynamic. You know, you've both got different ideas on what woods to use. We've got protein, and so it becomes, you know, educational. So you know what barbecue is? It's however you like it. So my way is not the best way. I show people what I do, and it seems to work for me. You might have a different thing. I'll never forget, a guy came to our class once, and he said he soaked his wood chips in 18-year-old whiskey before he threw it on the fire. Right?
Jesus, that's expensive.
Very expensive. And I know where good whiskey should be going, in here.
Yeah.
But he threw it on the fire, and he reckons he can taste the difference, and all his mates are like, this is amazing, this is so cool, all that sort of stuff. You know what, keep doing it. You know, if you're getting a bit of barbecue theatre, never hurt anyone.
Yeah.
So, you know, everyone's got a different way of doing things, and that's why I think more people doing the classes is a good thing for everyone.
Fantastic, mate. Well, look, thanks very much for your time. I realise you're a busy man, but I think we've still got a little bit of time. We can go hunt up some of those laser guns.
Yes, let's do it.
Cool.
Lovely. Good to see you, buddy.
You too, man.
All the best.
Catch you later.
See you soon.